He works on real-world AI solutions every single day, and he is passionate about making AI simple and accessible. Tonight, he is going to guide us step by step through building your own AI agent using Azure AI Foundry. Let's give him a big virtual round of applause. So, this is over to you, Mr. Dileepa.
All right, very well. I hope you can hear me and
Yeah,
see
we
me.
can.
All right, good to go. Right, very nice to have you all. Thank you very much for being here, and really excited to have you in this on the call session. And yeah, I think I'm from Sri Lanka, and I hope you all are the same. And very good, lovely evening to everyone. Let me start share my screen, then we'll start today's session. All right. Okay, can you see my screen? I hope.
Yes, it's visible. We can see
Yeah,
it.
it's visible, right? That's great. In the middle of this workshop, if you couldn't hear me, just let me know because I have a really bad mic today. Okay, all right, so let's get started. This is a quick start guide, and I'm planning to give you a sneak peek to get started with the Azure AI Foundry and the agent capabilities. So yeah, today's session titled with quick start guide, build AI agents with Azure AI Foundry. Okay, before I jump into the slides, I wanna ask you one question, maybe two questions, okay? Not a tricky one, okay? So I hope you all are familiar with AI. If you don't know, just it's okay. We'll see what's going on here. But I hope you all know about AI, right? If you know about AI at all, maybe just the term or definition, whatever, can you just raise your hand so I can get to know about you much? Okay, one's there. All right, people, please don't let me down. Okay, yeah, two, maybe 10. Don't know about AI at all. I'm not talking about the theory, just heard the term, okay? You know about AI, because we are right now in the age of AI, right? Everything, whenever we go to any website or any product, powered by AI. All right, great. Good to know, right? How about AI agents? Do you know about AI agents? I actually prepared this session in 3 phases. It depends on how you react with these questions, because if you are expert about these things, I have another content for you. And if you are completely beginner, no worries, I have another content for you. So can deliver all of them. So do you know about AI agents? Can you raise your hand? Can get a small idea about you, right? Do you know about have you ever heard about that term, agents? Okay, few people are there, right? Awesome. Okay, let's get started. Before jumping to the workshop content, I'd like to give you a small description about myself. Yeah, I'm Dileepa. I'm currently working as an associate AI engineer at Random Software Ltd. So also currently working as me, do volunteering stuff as a Gold Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. And these are some of my previous events. Actually, took these pictures a couple of years ago. I haven't got any chance to do a session in this year. And this will be my first online workshop with you. Okay. And about me, yeah, I'm currently focusing on AI probably and software and cloud as well. So if you want to contact me, get connect with me, these are my links available: LinkedIn, GitHub, and also a YouTube channel that's not very much matured yet, but started to publish few videos for beginners as well as industry persons. And also, if you want to contact me, just send me an email. You can get a screenshot here if you want. All right. Remember the good old days, right? So, have you ever tried to chat with LLMs or maybe AI-powered chats? Just raise your hand. You ever tried these things earlier to chat with AI agents? Not AI agents actually. Chat with regular LLMs. Maybe ChatGPT, maybe Copilot, maybe whatever online tools. There are plenty of things available. Okay, there are a few people haven't tried that yet. Okay, right? No worries, no worries. I know that you are pretend to be, to okay. Yeah. If you remember these things earlier and also currently right now, what we just do is just as a user, we give a prompt, maybe let's say it's kind of a small message to the LLM, or in case of these chatbots, okay? And if we ask a question like, I work at an e-commerce selling company, camping gear, okay? Suggest how I can best analyze sales data. So probably AI means LLMs, will definitely give you a response like this, okay? To analyze your sales data effectively, consider these things, and you should do these things, start with this, maybe Excel or tabular, these stuff, okay? So usually when we ask a question from an LLM, an LLM will respond like this. And it's sort of not much functionful thing, right? That's a sort of a problem that we are solving right now in the industry. That's why agents are coming, because agents has so much capabilities rather than just answering questions, okay? Yeah, before we jump into other stuff, I'd like to give you this agenda. So we will be talking about what are AI agents, Azure AI agent service, a demo, small one. And also we will talk about the models and region support, and how about the quotas and limits, and also resources and further learning. Okay, I want to tell you another thing also. I'm not going to include, say, so many vocabulary stuff. He'll speak in very general English, so anyone can understand very much easily. I'm going to use my accents as well, okay? That's a joke, okay. All right, so what are AI agents? Can anyone tell me this answer? I asked this question. I don't have a gift for you. I haven't prepared any, but yeah, if you're volunteering and like to give the answer for this question, what are AI agents? You can ask it from your favorite GPT models as well, or maybe try to search it in internet. We have enabled the chat, right? If you can post your comments, maybe your answers. Anyone? Come on. I want to make this more interactive with you. Okay, yeah. You people are very much shy, right? Oh, is it a boring or bad time right now? Okay, we have upcoming games. We can play with it, but yeah, we focus on about today's session mostly. So can anyone give me the answer for this question? Or I just, I'm not asking a very much strictly answer. Could be anything. 10 seconds. Okay. All right. Seems no one, right? Okay, that's why you're here, right? To learn about AI agents. Okay, these are AI agents. This is a small introduction about AI agents. And if you are searching about these AI agents, you can probably find something similar to this, okay? So an AI agent is a software program designed to autonomously perform tasks, right? Make decisions and solve problems to achieve specific objectives, right? Rather than using a regular LLM, these agents can autonomously perform tasks, right? That's the major thing about these agents. And also, these agents interact with their environment, process information, and learn from experiences to improve their performance over the time. Okay, so these AI agents are not just small models or maybe large models. It can perform tasks according to the needs or maybe the changing of the environment or the requirement. All right, so yep, these about their agents. Now let's see what are the fundamental characteristics. There are so much fundamental characteristics, but I included these three because these three actually kind of major things. So as AI agent, you can pretty much see these things to AI agents as well. Okay, so autonomy and adaptability, and as well as the perception. Okay, so what is this autonomy? Autonomy means actually AI agents can operate independently, okay, making decisions and taking actions without human intervention, right? That means as human, we don't have to tell and guide our assistants to do exactly what you have to do, right? Hey, please send me an email. Hey, please do this right now. We don't have to tell and go to do these things. Okay, so AI agents can do these things without asking. So next one is adaptability. So adaptability means they can learn from experiences and adjust their behaviors to improve performance over the time, right? That means actually agents equal to humans right now these days. So AI agents are actually try to mimic human behavior. They can do things and adapt with the environment changes. So next thing is the perception. So this perception means agents sense and interpret their environment through various inputs. Okay, so agents can take inputs, then do the next actions according to that, right? That's why these enabling, informing to make decisions happen when we comes to how AI agents work. Okay, so this is the major 3 points about AI agents. Actually, if you know about IT, you know about the what are the primary thing, what is the primary thing about information technology? We have input, we have process, and we have output, right? That's exactly thing about these three. We have a data collection as input. AI agents can collect data from surroundings through inputs such as text, audio, and images. Then, according to those collected data, agents can make decisions, right? They can analyze and they can analyze the gathered data using the AI techniques such as maybe algorithms or maybe predefined tools or whatever, right? So after we decision, all right, let's say after an agent makes their own decision, the next thing is perform the action. Okay, so that's the beauty of these agents. Previously, we gave these two things to our regular LLMs. Okay, maybe the ChatGPT, right? We gave our data and we stood up to the decision making and we took all the relevant information. So, what the different about these agencies, agents can based on these analysis, right? Not rather than just telling what's going on here, they can actually send you an email or maybe block calendars, maybe send an API request, whatever. Okay, right? There are so many plenty of things. And yeah, these things are the AI agents and how these things work. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Azure AI Agent Service. So I hope you all are familiar with Azure, right? Maybe Azure even. So can you just raise your hand if you have previously worked with Azure? anything, maybe Azure Web Apps, or if you work with any DevOps, maybe cloud, maybe data stuff, maybe networking. One is there. Oh, interesting. Okay, come on. Did you ever try these Azure services earlier? There are plenty of things available. Come on. No one, please raise your hand. Come on, come on. I'm not going to continue, otherwise you are giving me a response. No. All right, seriously. Okay. Yeah, sure. No worries. Azure AI is one of the services, and there are so many Azure services available, and you can try it by yourself. If you have a subscription, you can try it already, but if you are not accessible right now, you can try out the Azure for Student subscription, or maybe try the free credits. There are $200 credits available. You can try that as well. Okay. So Azure AI Agent Service. Let me give you small info about this one. Okay. So Azure AI Agent Service is designed to work with these agentic stuff inside the Azure. Okay. So beauty is here. Azure AI Agent Service is a fully managed service designed to empower developers to securely build, deploy, and scale high quality and extendable AI agents without needing to manage the underlying compute resources, right? So if you are working with any AI thing, you may need to work with the mostly compute resources, right? Maybe GPUs, maybe storage, maybe some underlying logics, including your frameworks or whatever. Okay. So when we work with Azure AI Agent Service, you don't have to worry about all of these things, right? Azure actually already created underlying framework, or maybe let's say underlying services for you. All you have to do is just use these things and apply to your own products or maybe your own projects. Okay. So if you uh, go and refer with the official documentation of the Azure, you can find this thing. And I will show it to you after these slides. Right. So, yep, leverage Azure AI Foundry. So, you know about Azure AI Foundry. Have you heard about this previously? Come on, raise your hand. One or two, maybe. Do you know about Azure AI Foundry? Did you ever try this earlier? Or maybe through a session, maybe your online blog? Did you know about these things? Okay. Come on. All right, so there are a few people. Amazing. Right, so Azure AI Foundry is a platform for developers to build AI-related stuff, right? It's a kind of a hub, or let's say all-in-one platform. You can include all AI resources into one Azure AI Foundry project, and you can proceed with it, right? It's very much beginner-friendly and also industry widely used tool. Okay, so if you are working with any enterprise level application, or maybe just working with campus project, you can definitely try this Azure AI Foundry because it is very much a feature rich full thing. Okay, so actually using Azure AI Foundry, you can use these AI agents that acts as small microservices. You know about services, right? Services mean you serve something through the internet. So microservice is a, you can think it's kind of a micro thing. Okay. And yep, both the capabilities, right? So using this Azure AI Foundry, you can get answers to your questions. And if you need to do some performing tasks, right? You can do maybe automating workflows. You can try these things. And the third one is the AI agent leverage generative AI models and tools to access and interact with real-world data sources, right? If you have a real-world data source, you can try these things using Azure AI Foundry. And if you know about RAG patterns, you can try these things as well. Okay. So if you don't know about RAG means retrieval augmented generation. That means you have a data and you give it to the LLM or maybe an agent in this case, and they use your data and provide the answer according to these things. All right, how about the next thing? Okay. So this is how agent work. Okay, so how does agent work? All right. Normally, we have a user. It means you or maybe me, right? We ask a question from a agent, right? So we ask a question like, tell me the total sales by region and show me as a colorful pie chart, right? So I'm asking a question to give me a sales and give me a pie chart. Okay, so then what AI agent then do is AI agent act as a multi-layered service, and this agent can first of all go through the knowledge source, right? Before we give this type of a question to an agent, we make sure to give a data source, right? Otherwise, agent doesn't know about anything related to your data, right? So first of all, we have to make sure to give you a small, maybe a proper data, maybe one or collection. So that's why I mentioned about these data sources. It may be Fabrics or maybe SharePoint or maybe your own data, file uploads, maybe a blob storage, or maybe using a Bing search as well. Okay. Then what we have to do is we have to select the model, right? There are plenty of models available, mostly Azure OpenAI service models, and we have other models also, Meta's Llama models, Mistral's models, and Cohere models. Okay, so you can give whatever you prefer. Then the third one, this is the beauty. So previously, before the agents, we tried these two things. Okay, our knowledge source and the model. Right. With these agents, we can now give an action, or maybe a couple of actions. So the agents can perform according to your needs, right? Uh, Rather than asking this type of a question, I can ask, hey, can you please collect all this data and perform your whatever thing? Then give me the chart as an email, right? I can ask the output sent back to you the directly to the inbox, okay? So that type of a capable we can try out inside this Azure AI Foundry, right? So you can try out maybe Azure Functions, maybe Azure Logics, or if you want to prefer any Open API implementations, you can try these things as well. All right. So these are the major components of an agent. So we have basically the agent, including the agent name and the agent's model and the instructions, how the agent should perform, right? And we have to create a thread first, then including these user messages and agent messages, we can send this thread into a run, then run will perform the other things for us, okay? Right, so if you don't know about threads, let me give you a small example. So you know about WhatsApp, no, not WhatsApp, actually. You know about Twitter, right? Currently, we use the term as X. So also we have Facebook, uh, maybe Threads app, right? Or maybe you are using Slack or any other conversational systems that use thread type of application. You know about threads, right? Thread means we have a main thread. Under that thread, we can manage all the messages, right? It actually acts as a box. We can put all the messages inside the thread. Then we can perform and we can continue our request or whatever things. Okay. So by using these agents, first of all, what we have to do is we have to create a message from the user. Then we include this inside a run, or maybe if you want to include the assistant or maybe the agent message, we can combine these two things as well before we execute the run. Okay. So in this example, as you can see in this screen, first we include a user message, then we trigger run. Within this run, we actually include these tools, right? Function calling, maybe code interpreter. So if you don't know about function calling means basically the same thing if you are working with the program functions, right? When we programming, when we doing small projects, we write functions, right? Function is a small piece, includes several lines of codes, right? It actually performs something, a task. That's the same thing function calling does, right? So function calling, we can maybe trigger a API call, maybe if you want to, let's say you want to get weather, we can definitely talk to this weather API. Then next, if you want to do another things, then you can do this way. So as you can see the previous slide, I'm asking a question, okay? So I'm asking total sales by region shown as a colorful pie chart, right? So this is my question, and I'm asking a pie chart, right? To design a pie chart according to these dynamic data, or maybe our own data, we need to perform a chart generation tool. Okay, in this case, we can use Python chart generating stuff like maybe Matplotlib or anything that you want. So there are so many plenty of Python libraries. So you can actually use these code interpreter service and perform your own Python task or whatever, right? So if we predefine let's say a CSV or Excel file, including all the sales data, then we can include these things into a Python code, then we can get sort of a chart. Okay, I hope you got it, right? So now the inside this run, agent will send you this message into your threads, right? Just like that, this is how we can manage all these threads, right? Okay, cool. Now, I hope you all got it, right? Before I jump into the next slide, please just raise your hand if you are okay with these things, or if I need to continue in Sinhala, maybe. It's your session. So, okay, let's have the one question first. You got it, everything? Everything clear? May I proceed? Can you just raise me your hand so I can get a clear idea about knowledge you got so far? Are you okay with all of these things? Guys, come on. All right, one person here. All right, I'm going to ask in Sinhala, okay? ඔයාලට තේරුණාද කලින් කියපේවා ටික? If you didn't get at all, just let me know. I will try to explain in Sinhala if you want. So basically, yeah, I'm going to say in English, this part only, right? So අපිට AI agent කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. එතකොට අපිට model එකක් තියෙනවා. අපි predefine කරමු maybe open AI වෙන්න පුළුවන්. llama model එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? අපිට මේ model එක use කරලා instruction එකක් දීලා මේ විදිහට agent කෙනෙක් create කරාට පස්සේ අපිට කරන්න දෙන thread එකක් create කරන්න, right? So inside this thread, අපිට include කරන්න පුළුවන් user message, like in this previous example. So then අපිට run එකක් trigger කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? මම පෙන්නනවා මේ process එක next slide එකේ. Then මේ run එකේ අපිට function call එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන්. Programming ඉස්සලා අපි basically පාවිච්චි කරන function call එකක් වගේම. එතකොට අපිට coding stuff එක වැඩ ගන්න maybe Python වෙන්න පුළුවන් chart හදන්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයාලට calculation එකක් කරන්න API call එකක් එක්ක ඊට පස්සේ අපි කියමු Python මොකක් හරි script එකක් run කරගන්නවා වගේ. අන්න ඒ වගේ දෙයකට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් code interpreter. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට පුළුවන් include all of these things into the one run, then send back to the thread, all right, as the agent's message. All right, cool. Now most of you are okay with these things. let's go to the next thing. This is the process, how all of these can be done, right? In the first step, we need to create an agent, right? Okay, this is a quick start guide. I'm not going to explain too much deep, right? Because, all of you are beginners and it's going to very much boring. Otherwise, there are so many theoretical parts underlined. And yeah, let's start with small steps, with the baby steps. So can gradually work with the beginner level, intermediate level, and go become an expert later. All right. Okay. Now this is the process how these agentic start working under the hood inside the Azure AI agent service, right? First, we need to create an agent, including agent's name, agent's behavior, that means the instructions, and the model, right? We have three things. Then we are going to create the thread, right? Next, as the next step, we're going to run this. Then we are working with the agent work, right? So this is actually we have one step. I think I missed something. Oh yeah, it's not mandatory, but we can go with it, right? So as the next step, we can check the run status if it is a fail, because we are actually running things, right? මේක නිකන් අර function call එකක් වගේ එහෙම scene එකක් තියෙනවා. කියන්නේ program එකක් execute කරපුවම අන්න ඒ යන run එක වගේ scenario එකක් තියෙන්නේ. So we can check the status of this run. Then if it is a success, we can display the message, right? If it is fail, we can actually use evaluation, right? All right, this is the agent that we are going to create today. It's a sales agent. So this is going to be the instruction. I already mentioned we have three things if we when we creating an agent, right? First one is the agent's name, that's a sales agent. So second one is the instruction. So we can give an instruction like you are an advanced sales analysis agent for Condoso, right? So Condoso is an fictional, it's a fictional company created by Microsoft. So if you want to create, give your own company name, you can go with it. So you are specializing in assisting users with sales data inquiries. So how about next? Next is the model. You can select either OpenAI model, maybe Llama model, maybe Mistral model, or maybe Corel model, right? I will show you all of these things. Right. Next one is, you know about this one, right? Knowledge source. I already mentioned this thing. So this is your data, right? You can include all this data before you asking a question, right? If you have a document, maybe let's say a PDF or maybe a markdown file. So you can actually leverage Azure AI service called Azure AI search. So using this Azure AI search, you can actually create indexes. So then you can directly feed that into your system. Then you can proceed with it, right? And the next one is files. You can try out Azure Blob Storage. You can directly upload any file to your blob storage. Then you can trigger this AI search using any embedding models. Then continue with this process, okay? All right. So these are the tools available right now. I already mentioned about these things back in previous slides ago. First one is the file search. You can try these tools to search the data inside your files. Then use code interpreter to work on the coding stuff. Maybe you have a Python, maybe you have a C++, C#, JavaScript, whatever. So you can try these things using code interpreter. And next one is the function calling. Let's say you have created an API that hosted in a different place. Then you can use this function calling to call these APIs and gather any data, maybe perform any task according to your needs. Okay. Next one is Bing search. If you want to go for a search thing in online, you want to get the recent updated data, you can try the Bing search. Or if you are working with maybe SharePoint stuff, creating your own web pages, or maybe your own enterprise data, you can work with SharePoints. And if you are a very data person, data science person, you definitely know about the Fabric, right? You can try out the Fabric as well. And Azure AI Search, I already mentioned. Azure AI Logic Apps, you can create logics. If else that type of a logic, then you can include all these tools inside the Azure AI Logic Apps. Next one is Azure Functions. Azure Function is a kind of serverless thing, right? If you want to create a API, you have to rely on a server, right? Maybe a local host, maybe a deployed server. But if you're working with Azure Functions, you don't have to rely on depends on any of those things. All you have to do is just write to your function, then publish it with the Azure function, right? Okay, now the OpenAPI 3.0 specified tools. Not going to talk about these things. Okay, this is the thread, right? We have created a sales analysis thread. Inside this thread, now what we have to do is we have to include, we should definitely include user message. It's a definitely, right? It's a mandatory one. Then we can actually trigger the run as the first step. In this case, it's going to be a function calling tool to SQLite DB, right? That's how our assistant, or let's say our agent, can collect the data, sales data, right? We have a database table using SQLite. So by triggering this function call, we can gather all this data, right? Then we create a message inside this run, then send back to the thread as the assistance message, right? It includes, here are all the sales data that you need to know, right? Okay, how about the next step? Are we only going to deal with only one run, right? No, there could be have multiple threads and there could be have multiple runs, right? Okay, so inside a one thread, we can have multiple runs, right? It's sort of a one-to-many relationship. We have one thread and we can manage multiple runs, right? So let's go to the next one. That's how we are going to ask about to generate the pie chart, right? That's the way the code interpreter tool comes to the playground, okay? First, we use the function calling. Then it provides an output like this. Then, according to this output, we're asking another question, asking the user query. Now, show me the pie chart, okay? That's how the interpreter works, right? Then code interpreter will create a pie chart for you using Python scripts, right? Then I include all these things into a one message and send back to you inside into this thread as the agent's message. All right. So this is the process of all these things and how we can work with it. Let's go to the evaluation of LLM-based solutions. All right. Previously, maybe 2 years ago, maybe 1 year ago, we already used this type of LLM solutions, right? If you are working with ChatGPT, if you previously worked with ChatGPT, I mean not current one, not recent one, maybe 2 years ago, you didn't have that file search capability, right? You didn't have that, let's say, the online search one, maybe the deep research one, or any RAG pattern stuff, right? So previously, LLMs work when asking a question, it has the training data set. According to that training data set, it generates the output, right? So that's how the previously things were, right? Before the agent stuff coming to the right now, these days, LLMs did work like this, okay? So before the agents, it was really very narrative, right? It is narrow to a one-shot task, right? If we are going to provide a document, then ask it from the LLM using our prompts, then it can give a summarized or maybe one thing, right? As an example, let's say we give a document to the LLM, then the LLM will read all of these things and give you a summary of sales data, maybe novel, whatever, right? So as an example, we can see we can not only get an output like text output, we can get a JSON structured output as well. Before we jump into the agents, we got actually with this type of output, right? And yeah, this is how the agent stuff working right now these days. We have single agent and also multi-agent systems. So in today's session, we are not going to talk about multi-agent systems. It's actually much more deeper than you think. Okay, so this is how, let's see about the single agents. Right, it's a very clear scope iterative task. That means we provide an question, right? We ask a question from the agent, then agent perform a task, right? Such as searching things under your, let's say inside your directories, maybe using an API call, it starts to search. Then using the LLM, it gives an output, right? You already knew all about these things with this slide. So that's how a one agent perform, okay? What if we have one or more agents? Can we integrate all those people? People? Yeah, let's say people, okay? So can we integrate all of these agents into one system? Yes, we can, right? If you already created one agent, all you have to do is create two or more other agents, then integrate with using a framework. Maybe I will show you what are those things later, right? So this is the multi-agent service and widely scoped, right? It's a complex use case inquiring diverse skills. So as the example, we can say propose two Instagram marketing campaigns, including assets that would leverage the top two recent trends in our past quarter. US sales to boost our mailing list, user base, and predict the impact of each campaign, right? This is a huge thing, right? Huge task. So to complete this process, we have to create a minimalistic, right? Let's say minor tasks, right? We have to break down all of these things into smaller steps, right? Then we can assign all of these steps to agents, right? We have service agent, we have retrieval agent, we have analytics agent, we have coding agents. By service agent, we can search everything in the website or maybe another web source. Then using a retrieval agent, we can retrieve the data that we have gathered already, and we can start digging all things later, right? Next thing is analytics data, analytics agent. So using this analytics agent, what we can do is we can get the insights, right? Okay, so third one is coding agent. So by using all these things, we can perform a coding stuff, or in this case, we can use Docker, right? Okay, there are so many things. We'll talk about those stuff later. Okay, so this is how the multi-agent pattern works. And multi-agent system consists of multiple intelligent agents that interact and collaborate to solve complex tasks, share information, and achieve goals autonomously or semi-autonomously, right? So we can create a group chat. We can give an argument to work it. Okay, so let's say we have a copywriter. Copywriter means this agent is capable of writing things, and this agent is the director. So as a user, what we can do is we can create a group chat and we can assign two agents. Then we can directly work with the art director. So we can tell like, hey, art director, I want to do this. Can you please write a novel or maybe like write a script for my movie? So then our art director search all the available agents who are available right now, then assign the task for that agent. So in this case, the copywriter. So this copywriter will definitely copy all those things and write and complete the task, right? This is how the group chat works. And this is a very small example for this multi-agent pattern. Okay, so how about AI agent service? How this multi-agent pattern can work inside the Azure AI agent service, right? So if you want to create a single agent, you can definitely deploy agents with Azure AI Foundry. Then you can manage all of these things as microservices, right? But if you want to work with multiple agents, you may have to rely on orchestrate them together with autogen or semantic kernel, right? If you want to create maybe a proof of concept, maybe let's say a research stuff, you can go with autogen, right? So it's a state of the art for research SDK, right? That's it's all about. So you can use autogen if you want to go with ideation, and if you want to go production level, you can work with the semantic kernel, and it's actually a production ready and stable SDK, right? It already available with Python, C Sharp, and Java, but for now, autogen is pretty much amazingly do things with Python right now. Okay, so many things, right? Before we jump to the next slide, I want to give you a small another idea about how this multi-agent technology works under the Azure AI service, right? We can create a Azure service. These all are the Azure services. So we can create, first of all, this group chat. By combining all these things, we can create a user proxy. So I'm not going to talk about user proxies because you are in it, right? So you can create a proxy. Proxy is actually where you can handle things in a web server or maybe a web service. You can actually skip some of the multi-layered things using a proxy, right? So using a proxy, we can create another service for that. Then to analyze data, we can create a data analyst, okay? And another agent for SQL stuff, we can create a SQL agent. Just like I previously mentioned in this example, all we have to do is create a small agent who perform well with Bing search and as well as the file search. Let's assume it's the data analyst. This agent is pretty much work with all the data analyst stuff, right? So the SQL agent is capable of give you the output with the code interpreter with the Python and other custom functions. By combining all of these things, we can create a small application, maybe a web API or maybe another thing, right? All right, this is how multi-agent technology work within a small scope. So there are so many things going on there, but this is a much very good for beginners. Right, enough talking, right? Let's start with creating agent. Right, let's go with creating an agent. To do this, what we have to do is, I'm gonna minimize this screen now. All right, so this is the Azure AI service documentation. I will show you this before we jump into the demonstration. So this is the Azure AI service. So by leveraging this documentation, you can actually work and complete your projects as quick as possible. So this is the Azure AI agent service. You go over here, you can find these things. So what is actually Azure AI agent service, models, quotas, and other things as well, right? Okay, so the next one is, this is the demonstration that we are going to create today. So actually the QuickStart guide, right? So you anyone can understand this very much easily, and all the codes are available here. You don't have to worry about thinking about the coding and programming. You don't have to work on the Python programming right now. Okay, what we are going to do right now is, yeah, let's see. This is the documentation, okay? So we go there here. You can find all the details related to the today's workshop. And as you can see, if you previously worked with Azure OpenAI Assistance API, it's pretty much same, right? So we create an assistant, then we assign all of these things, right? Name, model, instructions, and how all the tools can be worked, right? Maybe the code interpreter and the tool resources, which tools we are going to use, right? And the next one is the thread creation part. So this is the same thing that I already mentioned you. Okay, this is all about the difference between Azure AI agents and Azure AI OpenAI assistants, right? So both services enable you to build agents with the same API and SDKs, but additionally, actually using this Azure AI agent service, you have so many other stuff, right? Inbuilt security and NAS protections, maybe working with your enterprise grade security, choose your own storage. Yeah, you can use blob storage as well. Okay, yep, that's it about this documentation. And let's start creating our agent using Azure AI. First of all, we actually need the Azure subscription, otherwise this won't work, okay? So after you log into Azure portal, the next thing that you need to do is you need to create Azure resource group, right? Then you can proceed with it. Or the second step, or let's say the second option, right? Second option is you can directly go to this Azure AI Foundry, then start working on that, right? I actually already created a project earlier before we jump into this today's workshop. I test these things using these things. Let me go to the back. Yeah, Foundry. Okay, right. So this is actually Foundry. So if you already created projects, you can see all of these things in this table. And by clicking this button, you can also view all the projects available for you. And if you want to create a new project, you can click this blue button. And these are the documentations you can prefer in your developments. All right. So before I jump into the project creation part, can you raise your hand? How many of you are developers, right? I hope you all are developers, not all developers. Most probably, most of you are developers, right? Maybe a software peoples who always work with software stuff. You all, come on, all of you are students, right? So maybe you are not working in an industry right now, but you are really into coding stuff. Let's say you are coding guy, software people. How many of you are there? Can you raise your hand? You are comfortable with coding? Right? No one is there. Seriously. All right, all right. Okay, so do you know about Python? How many of you know about Python? Yeah, we have one person. Two. Have you ever tried to write hello world program in Python? All right. We have so many other programming languages also. Actually, majorly C#. If you're okay with JavaScript, then you have TypeScript as well. Then you have Python, right? So most of you are okay with Python. Let's continue in Python today. And Python is very much beginner friendly. And if you are very new to programming, Python is good to go. So let's start creating the project and continue the AI agent part, right? Okay, now I'm going to start like this. First of all, let's start creating the project. By clicking this, it asks something like this, okay? So create a project. Projects are easy to manage, contains for your work, and key to a collaboration, organization, connecting data, and other things, right? So we are actually right. So actually, creating a project, you can invite your friends to work with, right? We have to give a project name and as well as hub name, right? Let's click this one. A name of your project. Projects are backed by an Azure resource, which may have to meet naming requirements for the policy set by your IT admin, right? It's actually a name for your project. And how about a hub? A hub is the collaboration environment for your team to share your project work, model enterprise, model endpoints, compute connection, and security things, right? So project means the name of your project, and hub relates to your place where you can connect all your friends, all your projects, maybe endpoints, other things, right? To give a name for the project and the hub, we can actually use these abbreviations provided by the Microsoft. This is abbreviation recommendations for Azure resources. If you go with it, you can find a project, right? Azure AI Foundry project. You can use this abbreviation. So using this abbreviation, you can easily recognize your projects, your resources very much quickly. Okay, so let's give name abbreviation as Proj. Sorry, Proj. Why I can't select this thing? Can't I give a name for this? I will start creating a new hub then. You can try out hub. Yep, this is the abbreviation. Let's give a hub. Then start giving a name as new sales. Start to validate. And leave in the validation mode. All right, let's start the next one. Everything good to go. Let's start customizing these things. Yep, we can go back here and let's give the name as project. Okay, so for our project name, let's give something meaningful. Okay, how about sales? Let's say techno sales agency. Right, let's say our project is aligned with our company name, techno sales agency. Right, so the name for the hub, we are going to use the same approach, so we won't miss anything later. We actually created that hub, right? So we don't have to create a new hub. And for the next step, we can actually select the subscription. I'm currently using Azure for Student subscription. If you already have this subscription, you can find this. And if you have multiple subscription, you can select which subscription you want to proceed. Okay. For the resource group, you can actually create a new resource group. And let's say RS techno RG actually, not RS. For the resource group, techno, let's say resource sales agency. Right, this will be our resource group name. And for the location, you can select your closest location, right? There are plenty of locations available. Maybe Australia, maybe US, maybe Japan, maybe India. India is also available, right? In North area, South India, right? Yep, you can select which one is close to you, or maybe which has the most features. Okay, I'm going to select East US. And for the Azure AI service, I'm going to select these things, right? Okay. If you don't know about these things, let me give you a small, another quick info, right? This is what we are going to create, right? When we creating a agent, we can choose actually basic or standard agent setup, right? We can work with basic agents setup. It actually has this Azure AI Hub indicating all the resource management things. And we are using Azure AI project and also Azure AI services, right? It's very much simple. And the second approach is standard agent setup. So inside this, we have few more things as well, right? First one is Azure AI Hub, right? And Azure AI Project. These two actually connect to each other and depends on their services. And the next one is Azure Key Vault. So Azure Key Vault services help us to manage all the passwords, right? If you know about APIs, you know about API keys, right? So by using Key Vault, we don't have to expose our API keys to others. We can use this as a vault. We can embed all of these things inside the wallet. Let's say this vault. So we can only have to talk to this key vault. Then it continue all the required things for you. All right. So the next one is Azure AI Search. I already mentioned you with those slides. We can leverage AI Search to index your own documents to perform well with your files, right? And the next one is Azure AI Service. Azure AI Service include all your OpenAI services, maybe all your, let's say, video models, audio models, or if you want to work with other AI models like Llama, maybe Mistral, whatever, right? And the next one is Azure Storage account. You can create a storage account to store your blob storage details, right? I already mentioned those things in the previous slide. Let me give a small sneak peek, right? Right. This is the storage, right? If you want to include all of your things inside your Azure blob storage, you can go and start creating this one. And if you want to leverage the AI capabilities, as I mentioned in here, you can try out the Azure AI Search. I hope you got it right. I tried to simplify everything as possible to get an idea to all of you. Right? Okay, so these are the four major things that we need to work on. And this is the exactly thing that they are mentioning, right? We already know about the hubs. Hubs are capable of connecting everything, and the subscription, your subscription and resource group. Inside this resource group, you can include other resources, Azure resources. I mean, if you want to work with Azure functions, maybe Azure web apps, maybe another sources, you can include them inside here. That's why you have to create this Azure resource group, right? And this one is the location. And next one is the Azure AI service, right? If you want to create a new Azure AI service, you can go for it. Let's use the abbreviation, which in this case AIS. Let's say Techno Affairs Agency. This is it. Okay, so then select next. Start to validate. Until then, let's start create this AI search. And Azure AI search, it also has this abbreviation. I'll find it. All right, it started. Let's enter this one. Techno, right? Techno Sales Agency. All right, let's start the next. Everything good to go. Now what you have to do is click this next button and review before we submit, right? We have created the hub and it includes our subscription and the resource group and the location, right? All right, let's go back to this. Yep, we have this resource right now, and this hub creation part you already done, right? Next one is the project. It also done. So, and the next one is AI service and the AI search. These two things are also completed successfully. This is AI search and the storage. All right, AI search and the AI search, right? Now remaining the two parts, the key vault and the storage count, it automatically created for us, right? Let's create this one. As you can see, now it started to create this project. Resource name is and the type. So let me give you another revamp. So a project organizes your all work and provides a place to collaborate with others. And a hub is the collaboration environment for your team to share your project work, model endpoints, compute connection, and security settings, right? So the AI services provide all of these. Your Azure AI Foundry hub users can access the model deployment from existing Azure AI services, including Open AI service, and all of these things, right? So this is the Azure AI search. Vector search, if you want to go with vector search, you can try this one. And for storage part, you can use this Azure Blob Storage service. Right? It already created for it is, right? And define as for data upload, storing artifacts you created by Azure AI, and the keyword. Store connection strings, external resources to manage by you in Azure AI, right? Okay, now we have to wait for a few minutes. Until then, I will show you this documentation, rest of the things, right? As you can remember, I mentioned you about the tool, threads, messages, run, and run step. First, run or second one, whatever, right? And to get started, we have to do is we have to install these packages, Python packages. First one is Azure AI projects, and second one is Azure Identity. So inside these Azure AI projects, we can use all the Azure AI stuff. By using an Azure Identity, it helps us to manage all the key vault and subscription, whatever things, right? And we have to make sure to use the AC login command and sign into our Azure subscription. All right. I already logged into my account and don't have to worry about this, right? These things, right. So how about this? Still working, right? Let's give some time. Until then, all right, it's already worked, right? All right, everyone, welcome to the project Techno Sales Agency. In here, what we are going to do is we have now create the agent, right? To do that, simply we can click this agents tab, then we can continue with the rest things. Before we jump into that part, let me give you a small idea about how these things work. So this is the model catalog. By clicking this, you can find all available models out there, including Mistral, DeepSeek tools available, Llama models, and other models as well. And the next one is the playground. After we deployed a model, then created a model, our assistant, we can try out all the capabilities inside this playground. And next one is the AI services. As you can see, we can enable speech, language, vision, content safety, and other things, right? All right, this is the way how we can interact with agents. But now we haven't selected any option, right? We can select this one. Let's go. So this is actually the resource that we have already created. Let me go to my resource groups and show it to you. Okay. So this is our Techno Sales Agency resource group. Inside that, you can select. You can see our project created successfully, and hub is also now here. And next one is Azure AI Services. Okay, so Azure Key Vault and storage and the AI search. Everything is here, right? Now, after we select the AI resource, next thing we have to do is we have to select a model. Currently, we have 14 models available. You can select Coheria model, maybe a Mistral, maybe a Meta, or DeepSeek also available. Or we can select GPT-4 Mini. So let me go back to the slide again. All right. So these are the models available. And now we already done this part. Now deal with this one. Okay. So let's select the model as GPT-4 Mini. I'm going to confirm this one. And next thing that we need to do is we need to deploy this model. All right, it's currently not available. It's not working. Insufficient data, right? We have to manage all the quotas. Yeah, sure. The reason that you see these things is because we select the region as East US, right? Currently, US has that sort of a problem. All right, let's go back. How about GPT-4? Same scenario, right? So if you see this sort of a problem, all you have to do is just manage your quota or change the region, right? So currently, I don't have much time left to continue with that process. So why don't I just go switch back to the sales agent project that I already created previously and show it to you. It looks same, right? No difference. Only the difference between the project that we created right now and the previous one is the naming conventions, okay? Nothing else. So after we deploy everything that we have to do is just go to the modules and we can deploy a model, right? So I already deployed a model. So if you want to deploy a model, you can click this one and select the agent stuff. Right. Deploy base model. Then let's select the collection you want or deploy option or maybe inferencing task. So for the inferencing task, we can select any chat completion model, but I'm going to select GPT-4 mini, okay? Very much cheaper than the, right. All right, as you can see, currently I'm using this EastUS2 inside this project, and it has enabled this quota and don't have that quota limitation exceed top, right? Yep, currently I actually already deployed this GPT-4 or mini. That's why you see the name as these two. So but all you have to do is just click this deploy button, then start to create a model deployment for you, right? You can see the endpoint, you can see the key, and you can see all the coding parts as well, right? So now we are working with the agents. Let's go to this agents thing, and let's create a new agent, right? By clicking this new agent button, it quickly created an agent for us, right? Now it assigned an agent ID for us and a name. Let's say the name of the sales agent. All right. So the deployment, right? For this deployment, we can select either the model that we should deploy right now or any model that you can work with it, right? So the instructions, actually the way how we tell our agent how to work or how to react, right? This is the way how we can include all the behaviors of the agent, right? If it is a sales agent or if it is a, let's say, analytics agent, maybe we can give all the instructions here, right? And this is the knowledge stuff and this is the action, right? So we can select this file search thing and we can enable all the file upload things, right? So we can create a vector store or we can select an existing vector store if you want, right? I already created a vector store. That's why you can see this inside this drop-down menu. Otherwise, you have to create a vector store. If you don't know about vector store means we when we be dealing with LLMs in the RAG patterns, we have to provide let's say provide a data which can read easily by these agents, right, or LLMs. To work with sufficient data formats, a vectorized data could be the most appropriate one, right? If you work with text data is also fine. Agents can definitely understand what's going behind with all of these texts, but vectorized text, I mean vectorized data include all the related keywords, right? Let's say like this, I tell dog and cat, right? Dogs and cats, they are similar, right? And I say like, say pineapple and papaya, right? Those are fruits, and those cats and stuff I mentioned earlier, those are animals, right? So if you're working with vectorized data, it created closed names search for you, right? So that's why the vector store and other stuff comes with this playground. It's much difficult if you are a very beginner. That's why I'm not going to talk about these vectorized data or vector stores right now. So vector store is actually a database. You can include all of your data. That means a PDF, maybe a Word document, and upload it to your vector store. Then it automatically start to vectorize data and provide the data for you, the model, right? All right. So now that I'm going to do is I'm going to select the file and start to create a new vector store. And let's select the file. And currently I have prepared sales data.markdown file. And let me show you quickly what is going on here. This is the markdown file that I've prepared for you. Actually, I use GitHub Copilot to create this markdown. So this is the markdown that I'm going to feed into the AI agent, and it includes all the 4 quota details, including total revenues, the North America and the Europe and Asia and other regions, right? Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to upload and save this, right? Okay, now our agent can understand all these data, right? Next thing is we have to give instructions. Let's say you are a helpful AI agent that can agent can analyze data and provide outputs according to the user questions. I made typo errors. Let me fix these things. Outputs and coding, right? According to user question. My keyboard is actually not working properly. Where is analyze? Come on, okay, it's okay, it's okay. So this is the instruction. Your helpful AI agent can analyze data and provide outputs according to the user question, right? Now what we have to do is, let's start with the playground. We can click either this playground button or we can select this playground as well, right? Let's go try agent playground. All right, now we have to do is we have to select our agent. We have created an agent name sales agent, and you can see the instruction says URL pool AI agent can analyze data, provide outputs. Right. Let's ask a question. This is a normal behavior of a LLM RAG pattern basement, right? What are the, let's say, what are the sales data you have in the four queues? 4Q, right? Let's ask this question. See how AI can respond, right? Oh, a bad UI. What? All right. So now, as you can see, our agent can understand the data that we encoded using the file uploading, and you can see, can give all the data and provide the output like this. And we can ask a question like, what is the which region has the most revenue, right? Let's ask a question like this: which region has the most revenue? So the region with the most revenue is North America, which consistently right. All right, everything good to go, right? If you're following very well with this documentation, and you can see this one, right? Analysis data. Tell me about total sales by region. I asked that type of question, and rather than using the function calling with the SQLite database, I include the markdown file. So our agent go through that markdown file using rank behavior, then provide an output like this, right? Okay. How about the next thing? The next step that we need to do is we need to ask a question to show me a pie chart, right? So to use that type, this type of feature, we need to create a code this, right? So we need to create a code interpreter tool. Actually, we have to sign all the things. Let's go back to the. Okay, now let's ask the question again. Hey, can you give me a pie chart? Let's see what will be the output. Okay, I can't create a virtual content like pie charts directly. Okay, however, I can guide you, right? Blah blah blah, right? Our agent now telling me, like, I can't create a virtual content like pie charts directly. Why exactly you can't do this? You know about the answer. Why our agent can't follow my lead? Okay. Why exactly this agent can't give me a pie chart? Do you know about the reason? Can anyone tell me? Let me show this documentation again. Right. So all right. I think you have a better perspective on here, right? We have a question, we ask a question from the agent, and we actually include all the knowledge sources, and we assign a model, but we haven't done anything yet, right? About the actions. Right? We haven't done that action bar, right? And if you know about very well, we didn't try the code interpreter, right? That's why the agent can't give the second run it including this type of a pie chart. All right, let's go back to the agents playground. And as you can see, now we have actions. All we have to do is just include this code interpreter, and we can select maybe a local file, or maybe we can select this code interpreter in here as well, right? So let me give my sales data markdown. How about yeah, let's give this markdown. It will work, right? I'm gonna add this data markdown and combine with the actions. Okay. Now let's ask this question again. Hi, can you give me a pie chart looking for the reference. Now, as you can see, after we enable this code interpretation, it can start working on that, right? But the problem is we haven't enabled these actions inside this agent. Let me quickly change this agent. All right. Agent 778, right. I actually tried this agent earlier. After we assign the knowledge base and the action, now our agent can easily create the pie chart for us. Okay, so let's ask a question. Hi, can you give me a pie chart with the revenue for each view by the region? All right. How about each Q for Q1, right? Q1 means quarter, first quarter, January to March. Let's ask this side of the question and we'll see how the response looks like, right? Looking for reference in using. And now we start to search into all of our document data and start working on the actions, right? I think the CSV file rather than Excel file format, I will. All right, this type of question we have rate limited exceeded, right? I actually exceeded all my tokens. That's why the problem is, right? So you can definitely get an answer like this. So how about we do the same thing using code? Okay, let's quickly go to code part. Okay, I actually previously prepared this project, so can easily understand for you, right? So I actually prepared this project and try this out before few minutes this online workshop, right? Okay, this is how you can do the same exact thing using code, right? All you have to do is, first of all, let me move this to my second screen. Let me close this one. Right, let me open up the terminal. Let's start a fresh project using Python. And I'm going to show the list command. I'm using this type, right? So let's create a new project mark NKDIR. Our company is Techno Sales Techno Agency. So like this agency. All right, I'm going to change my directory to Techno Agency and open this inside the code. All right, now you can see my Visual Studio Code, right? Okay, currently I don't have anything yet. First of all, I'm going to do is I'm going to open my terminal. This is a fresh, brand new project. Okay, you can follow up all these things inside this documentation. Right? QuickStart, create a new agent. You can try all of these things by yourself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste all things. So we'll save most of our time, right? This is a quick start guideline. So you can definitely refer these things by yourself. All right, first of all, let me open up my terminal. And I'm currently using Python. Then first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a virtual environment first. So let's say pip, not pip, actually, let's start with Python virtual environment creation part. Let's create a Python virtual environment inside our project. Give some time. All right, now let's activate this by using this command. Now I have actually activated this. Let me clear this one. And the next step is that I'm going to do, I'm going to enable Git so we can easily track all these things, right? Let me say Git init. Let me, yes, we enabled empty repository. Let me change the branch name to, can't actually remember. Yep, we can do the same thing, right? Git branch main. I have changed the branch name to main. Next, that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a virtual file, env file, environment variable file. So we can include all the connection references and other things, right? So next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create this one using a new item. Let's say env. And the next file is the ignore file. New item, git ignore, right? This is all about Git. So I'm not going to tell you what exactly these things do. So next thing is we can add our virtual environment folder and our env file. So we don't have to deal with these two projects within our hosted place repository, right? All right, everything good to go. Now let's start with this by entering a connection string. So using this connection string, we are going to connect with our, not actually Postgres, we are going to connect with Azure Open AI, not OpenAI, actually Azure AI Foundry, right? So we are going to use this connection string to connect with the Azure OpenAI Foundry. So, and you can find this connection string inside the overview tab within this card, right? All I have to do is just click this project connection string, and then paste it here, right? Okay, now I'm going to create a app.py file. So we will deal all of these things here. Before we jump into that part, I'm going to install all the requirements, right? Requirements.txt. I'm going to include all the required packages. So I need this Python env to manage this .env file, and AI project, and the identity. It mentioned in here, right? Yep, you can individually install these two packages, but I'm going to use all in one, right? Cool. And I'm going to install using pip install our requirements for txt. Now it started to install all the required packages for us, including the Python env, Azure AI projects, and Azure identity. Good to go, I guess. All right, awesome. Right, now let's clear this terminal to make sure everything perfectly fine. So if you're using Python extension, you can definitely see this message, this information about what packages you have already installed within your project and what's also on, right? Okay, first of all, let's start like this. What I'm going to do is from the env, okay? From .env, I'm going to import load env, right? So then I need to import operating system because my environment variables are stored in the operating system. All right. Next thing is we can load this environment variables like this is very much small coding line. Let's say project connection string, right? Project. Let me give my co-pilot to fix and complete the rest of things for me. Project connection string. I name it as connection string. And let's say if this project connection string is not available, we can tell the connection is not set, right? Then we will print the connection is loaded successfully. Then if you want to print what's the available connection string, you can go with like this, right? Okay, awesome. Let's start with this Python command. Python app.py, right? As you can see, connection string loaded successfully, and this is our connection string, right? And here, what if we delete this connection string? Okay, I'm going to delete this. And how about we check and run this application again? Just like we thought, this error triggered because our connection string is lost. So you have to make sure to include the connection string inside this environment file. So it'll be easy, right? Awesome. Next thing is that I'm going to do, I'm going to follow the rest of the thing. First, we need to create the project client. Then with project client means still undergoing that in the hood. We are going to use this project client, and yes, we are going to use the code interpreter. That's how we work with it. And we need to first create the agent. We need to assign all these things. We have to give the name, instructions, tools, tool resources, and make sure to pass these things as parameters. Then after that, we can see what's the agent ID. Then now we can create a thread, right? You guys are remember, this is how things done, right? Let me close this animation pane. Right. So first of all, we have to create the thread. And inside this thread, we are going to include the user and the assistant, that means agent's message. And we are executing the run just like this, right? We create the thread, we create the message, and we include everything inside the run, right? Within a one single run, we can include the thread ID and we can include the agent ID. With this thread ID, it can identify which messages we added earlier, right? Right? So I showed you this step, that is 6, right? Display the agent's response. Before that, we have to make sure check the run status. That's why these code lines work, right? So if the run is failed, this is not going to work, right? You are rightly exceeded or whatever. This is not going to work. Otherwise, you will see an output like this, right? So you will get the image. Image means that pie chart we are going to request, and yep, this is it. And by end of everything, we are going to delete the agent. All right, let me quickly copy all the things from the previous example I created and paste it here. So we don't have to waste our time. Awesome. Right, this is exactly thing. Same thing, same steps, but I included some of extra comments. And we'll send you all of these things for your references after this session. All right. So now let me go and show you. So this is our model, and this is my agent name. So I'm going to use my agent as the name, and instruction and URL full agent. It's much okay. So then just create the thread, same thing, and the message will be Could you please create a bar chart for operating profit for using the following dates? Now we are expecting a bar chart, not a pie chart. Okay, we will see what the output looks like, right? And after that, we are including all the messages inside the thread, and we are passing the thread ID and the agent ID to the run. And we check whether it is working or not. Then after everything looks fine, we are going to print and we are going to display the message as output as the PNG. All right. How about we execute this program? Let me clear terminal again. All right, currently I don't have this image right now. Let me first of all commit this message. Git commit, initial commit. Oh, we have to git add, check the status, git commit. So you can actually commit all your messages like this. Okay, so I actually added git find tree, right? So that's why the reason asking me the passphrase. Let me give you quickly. All right, everything good to go. Let me check the git log online. Initial commit, I added this commit message and everything good to go. Now let's start working with this Python script. We can run this Python script by entering the command python app.py, and let's give some time. Agent created and the thread created. Then we included all the messages inside the thread, just like we saw in this previous slide. Now we are sending a run, right? The run is completed and we got a message, we got messages like this, and we can download the image into our path. So it's pretty much like this. This is what we expected, okay? Small pie chart, bar chart. Not a pie chart, actually bar chart, right? So this is how we can quickly interact with AI agents. It's pretty much similar when we're working with Azure OpenAI API, Assistance API, but the other capabilities here is we can actually integrate other custom actions as well. Let me quickly go to the agents here. Deployment, I'm going to select a deployment, please. All right, so you can see these are the agents that I've created earlier. And for the actions, if you want to work with customer functions, you can leverage that. Again, that means calling APIs, maybe price calculating, whatever, right? And Azure functions, you can include and embed inside these code parts as well, right? These things that I wanted to share with you. Let's end this session with the rest remaining stuff. All right. Now, models and region support, right? There are widely available models. Azure AI Agent support the same model as the chat completion APIs in Azure OpenAI. Region availability is some regions support both author and prediction, others not. Supported region include the East US, East US, Australia, East West, and also languages supports custom data and so on things. And also for the feature availability, some of the models are not available for particular regions. In that type of a case, we need to rely on other regions as well. So you can find all of these things inside this documentation. When we go to the AI services, AI agent service, Under the code modules and region supports, you can see this table. And if you are using GPT-4, it's only available in Japanese and Sweden Central. But if you are well with GPT-4, this preview or any GPT-4 mini, you can actually use inside East US, East US 2, or maybe another region that you can see, right? Okay, great. Now quotas and limits. You saw this, right? The limitations of the quota. Some regions don't have the particular quotas or regions. In this case, you need to switch to another region, right? So know your usage. Default token limit for agent is 2 million, and the file size limit per agent is 512 MB. So if you want to upload a file, then you have to make sure to within this range. And maximum upload file size across all agents cap at 100 GB. And for the rates and the limits include 8,000 tokens per minute and 80 requests per minute for deployments, right? So the quotas can be reactively managed using a cognitive service usage reader all in Azure. Cognitive services means the Azure AI, it looks same. So exceeding rates limits can be cause errors even when metrics show usage in the threshold. If you exceed the limitations, that won't work. That's the reason I'm telling. Okay, so this is everything that I wanted to share. Before we conclude the session, let me show the resources and the further learning so you won't miss anything with your time, right? Let me go to quick. So for the demonstration today, I actually referred this documentation, Azure AI Service documentation. You can try it by yourself as well. And inside here, you can find the Azure AI services. And for the quota limitations, maybe what are the agents, if you want to know about how the tools work, right? Like how the file search work. And you can try these things as well. And how about the code interpreter, how it can be worked within under hood. So you can try these things as well. And this is the quick start guideline. I'm inviting you to check this out. So it's actually your responsibility, okay? It's your thing. So you have to make sure to try this out by yourself because it's not a lecture, okay? You need to practically work these things. Then that's how you can get an idea about behind the scenes. Otherwise, it's not going to pretty much get into your mind. All right. So try this documentation. And also, there is an amazing learning path inside the Microsoft Learn. Develop generative AI apps and in Azure AI Foundry. So it's very much lengthy one. 6 hours and 10 minutes. You can try this out. We have so many quick laboratory exercises as well and practical exercises. You can try this one. And also, if you want to work with Azure OpenAI REST endpoints, just like how we deal with inside this code, you can refer this Azure OpenAI Service REST API instances. And this is the abbreviations I tried. So these are the only things I referred to prepare for this workshop. So I invite you to check all these things by yourself and start trying things out, right? So, yep, that's pretty much it. And thank you, everyone. And before we wind up this session, I would like to give you very much my heartfelt gratitude to all of you because, this is a very quick introduction to quick start to get started with Azure AI agent capabilities. And this is very deep thing. We cannot actually cover everything within a one session, maybe in a one day. If you are working very well these things, you could take some time, maybe 1 or 2 years, right? So there are in-depth things you can explore, right? I tried my best to give you very much a very small description about how these agents work, how we can interact with the playground, and we can include and integrate into our own applications, such other things, right? So, and also I'm invite you to can check with my uh, future upcoming videos. I'm planning to create a small video series related to Azure OpenAI and Azure AI agent services, and I invite you to check that also. So we'll definitely create separate videos for file search and other code interpreters, and how we can create agents by step with small videos, so you won't miss anything else in future. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a quick intro, and thank you very much. And dear host, it's up to you.
Okay, fine. That's indeed an incredible session. It's so casual and yet informative. Thank you so much, Mr. Dileepa, for breaking things down so clearly and showing us just how approachable AI development can be using Azure. Now it's time for the Q&A session. If you have any questions, please raise your hand or unmute yourself and ask it. Is there anyone who is having a question? You can simply unmute yourself and ask. Or it seems like they do not have any questions. So
Yeah,
can
it
we move
seems right.